Welcome, everyone, to Enlightened Masculinity. This is the greatest podcast on earth, in my opinion, because of how real it is and the community we tap into, the IMC Nation community. I'm captain of IMC Nation, just to introduce myself, Yogi Chris, PhD, that's my name, Chris DeVilbus, by government ID, founder of Ninth Column Yoga and captain of IMC Nation. And I have with us today, in the last two episodes, I've interviewed high-ranking men in IMC Nation, what are called Kusei. We had Oracle Cervantes and Powerhouse Cervantes on two separate episodes. Now, another man who's doesn't have a rank, but he's one of those guys that he's a top player in the organization. He's been around for some time. He's been involved in the business and the happenings with a lot of different people at a lot of different bases, which those bases have ranked individuals. The IMC as a worldwide organization has people of rank as a structure, because that's what organizations, it helps with the structure. And then we also have bases where guys have moved in together to live this lifestyle. And it's just head and shoulders above what any other man is doing. It's literally 1 in a million or even rarer that you'll find a man that gets along with other alpha men that he lives with, and the code of communication and ethics, cleanliness, and it's military, but with the guy-girl code involved. And it's gangster, but with ethics. It's philosophy and wisdom and self-help and psychology and all of that, but with a bunch of fighters that are tough. It's all of those things. It's so rare. And Najim, my guest, Star of Truth, IMC Star, he's his Instagram handle is I am Star of Truth, but you can just put a C there, it'd be IMC Star of Truth. So IMC Star of Truth Najim is my guest. He's from Los Angeles. He's not in one of those bases, but he's around what we call Base 3, which is actually where my previous two guests, Powerhouse and Oracle, they live at Base 3. So he's interacted with them a bunch. He's lived at Base 2 in San Jose. He was just at the Animus Rising advanced event, and he participated in the party. So those are some of the things I want to pick his brain about, or all of these things. He's also a family man. He designates himself a Muslim, but also with some cliff notes to that. So that's just cutting edge. That's just whatever it is. I think things should evolve. I think you should outdo your predecessors. And that means necessarily that some innovations or changes happen along the way. That's what it is. And some are the traditionalists that say you never change what it was. And some are the progressives that say, no, that's outdated, you move on. And probably there's some mix that's the best. So, and he's also a family man. I don't know if I brought that up. So this is one of those conditions, a lot of people before they get into IMC, they're like, well, I have a wife, or I have kids, it's not for me, or, or they make excuses based on that, why they don't have money or time to do it, because, and it's like, no, Najim's a family man. And more than most people in IMC will bring up his relations with mother and child's mother and the kids, and what's going on with that, because he's really pulling IMC into his life and bringing it into his life and not being shy about that. So I also want to pick his brain about that. So here he is. What's going on with you, brother? Star of Truth. You just painted our Warrior Art Center too, and it did a sick job. So handyman, but I just thought that handyman was just too small of a title to give. Like, he's a handyman, but he's really great around the house.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly where I came from. San Jose. Over the weekend, finished up the Animus. And then while I was doing the Animus, between the Animus classes, I was painting the new center. The new center is going to be a fitness center, also mixed martial arts. They'll be having Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think Muay Thai, and boxing there. So I already know where I'm going to be spending most of my time when I'm there. I'm just going to be in the gym, just there. When there's no class, I'm there. That's a new spot for me.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool being a part of that, and just seeing, everybody put in the effort to make that come alive. Sultan's the manager there, and then we got Fernando as part owner, and Arian too. So everybody working together and towards this, it's fun. We're doing shit. We're like, building. We're creating, we're building. And the same thing goes for Base 3. I'm here at, I'm not in a base, but I affiliate with the members of Base 3 whenever they go out hunting. I'm with them, their meetings, I'm with them. And yeah, this does keep me in the loop. However, I am looking to base up and be official somewhere, whether I open my own base or join their base. Thoughts of even going back to San Jose or Las Vegas is in mind too. So
whatever it takes, because you can always upgrade and switch it out. One of the ideas AZD came up with me, because we were brainstorming and talking about it in December of 2019 and January of 2020, before bases happened. That's when the ideas were getting thrown around like that. And, one idea was a man being able to, at the time, the base idea was not San Jose. That was not his idea of base one. His idea of base one was in Hollywood or in LA somewhere where game was better. It was going to be a pickup base, was his idea. And then around February, it was literally actually, I believe, before anything with COVID had happened, but not too long before, a week or two. I don't know if it was on a call or on a Zoom call, or he called me or something. And it was like, no, we should switch it to San Jose, and it's going to be more about getting your business right and, learning this lifestyle and whatever. And then opening. So there was not even an idea that there would be like multiple bases with other guys in it, because the movement was not that. The movement at the time was like 12 to 15 higher level guys that had stepped up for messengers and Tabiat program. All the other students had fallen off. And right when the boot camp started was all of a sudden, now there was like 40 guys on camp. The first boot camp, when the price dropped from 25K to 1,500 and like 500 for online or something, whereas before it was 5K for online. And so there's a bunch of new people popped up, and it was like, who are these people? and then continued like that. So the ideas switched, and then things created differently. But the idea was to be able to stay like 3 months or a month or 6 months in one base, go to the next base, stay, go to the next base, stay, and just be doing, like, have that as a possibility, which is real exciting. I mean, you would also need either someone's agreement to switch with you or an open room in the base where that's not being used, which, may or not be feasible. And but anywhere you can go, I mean, if you can find your replacement, also makes it better. I mean, you'll get, and then how you make money, that's going to be the thing. So do you make mobile income, or are you just going to have to start up with some journey where because that requires some connections and meeting people and whatever. So it's, you can really build bigger if you've been there longer like that. But whatever, getting into that base situation with other guys, man. So it's almost like the journey begins then, which is like, man, what have I been doing up until then? Which is a lot.
That's exactly how I felt. When me and Will first went to base to go make the base 2, that's exactly how it felt. Like, we're leaving everything behind. Well, at least for me, Will's already a bachelor. He has no kids, he has no family here. But for me, I had to leave my son, my wife, my kids, my mom, and
were you living with them?
Yeah.
So you're living with them, and then you moved.
So before that, I was in Las Vegas just with me and my son for 2 years.
I remember that.
Yeah, and before, that's when I was first introduced to AZD. And then COVID happened, and my business over there, I had an Airbnb business that pretty much failed because everybody canceled their stays. So I had to sell that, whatever, and then I moved back to LA. So I was living here with my family, thinking the world's gonna end because of COVID, right? And then AZD said, you guys got to move, you guys got to base up. So that's when we based up, and that's when I started to actually tell myself, this is it, I'm IMC, I'm not going back, and since then it's just been like that. Even though things changed, I moved back here, there, whatever, I still feel connected, strong with my brothers, and it just gets better and better, and right now I just came back from a camp. And what these camps do for me is they show me the next level up, the next thing I have to do to change. And I don't think there'll ever be a time where I'm going to be like, okay, I'm perfect now, I don't have to do anything. Even AZD is not like that. He's constantly changing. He's constantly improving, constantly learning.
What did you
So
find from this camp that you said that you found something that you had to level up? And what was
right, and for me, even though I've been working out, I've been, watching my diet, it's just I need to kick it up a notch, you know. And I've seen improvement from January. I can physically see, I can feel myself. I can do more stronger. I can do more pull-ups now, and I like that I changed. But now it's just like the next level. Now I'm gonna put in more concentration on my diet. I got getting rid of things that distract me from that. You know,
distract you from what?
from just being an IMC member or whatever our purpose is in our life, whatever it is, we can't waste not 1 minute. Every minute should be either about evolving or teaching someone. It just is like kind of like how can we waste our time on anything else? Like how can we waste our time on watching a football game? How can we waste our time on worrying about what our girlfriend needs? Like there's so much work that we need to do in this world for our sake and the people's sake. If you look around everywhere you go, people are fucked up. Women are fucked up. Men are fucked up. They're zombies, and it hurts to see them like that. And I can't save everybody, but who I can save today? Myself. And so I'm just gonna use every minute I have to do that. I'm gonna use every piece of knowledge I have to better myself. And I don't know, I just don't want to waste no more time. That's what I seen, that there's no, you can't and this alpha beta shit that was going on too, like, oh, beta, like,
oh yeah, at the
for
party.
real, like for reals, dude, like why am I coming out? Why
Let's
am I
explain
coming
that.
out beta?
Let's explain that. Let's explain that real quick so people get the context. Some guys may not know. There's a bunch of guys online, but also this is recorded, and the interviews as episodes actually do better. They get more views. So I don't know what that is. I'm always trying to come out with like dope solo topics, like the key to law of attraction, or the secret to I don't know. They never do as good as just like interview with Star of Truth, all these views. So I don't know why the fart sound represented all these views. I should have been like, that would have been better. so what you're talking about is alpha beta at the party, I think, right?
Yeah.
So we do this VIP party, some models. It's like a dating show with MC, AZD, and guests and contestants and whatever, and a videographer, and it's really good. And so questions, the girls ask the guys questions, and then the audience are kind of like hecklers. So occasionally, and they're all studied on the subject too, so they're not just, for the most part, not talking out their ass. One of the brothers got called on by one of the models asking a question, and I think that was because he was doing the most alpha beta commenting, whereas he himself was not congruent with that, and so she called that out. So and that was funny to see. But so the audience, if the contestant answers the question, they're like, what is your weakness? And you're like, oh, I have so many weaknesses. And the audience is like, beta. And then so the person has to face that kind of ridicule or whatever while they're answering a pretty girl in front with the camera on and all the attention on you. And it's just like, whoa, dude. And so that's what Star of Truth is talking about the alpha beta commenting.
Yeah. So, that moment, or not that moment, but that whole show that we did was a real eye opener. And it wasn't the hecklers or being called alpha or beta. It's like the questions is like, why are you not certain? Man, you're a motherfucking man of God, bro. Like, who the fuck are these people and why are you letting them question you? That's the mentality I should have had. But for some reason there, I was a little bit timid. Like, oh, this is like, being recorded. Maybe I have to come up with a very logical answer. And you know what? I don't have to fucking give you an answer. That's not what I should have said, but that's the mentality I should have had. That the mentality that I do have, but I don't show it because I'm so fucking blocked by all this bullshit. Maybe the voice in my head, maybe what this person might say. So I'm getting rid of that. That's what I learned. I need to get rid of that filter and not give a fuck what a bitch thinks. You know, I really don't give a fuck what you think, because what you think is fucking bullshit. It's not even on fucking code with what my standards are, with what I believe in. So, you know, I didn't have that understanding at that time. And I probably still don't right now, but I'm working on that. I'm living my fucking voice, living my truth. What is my truth? My truth is living life on code and having a process that is going to better me, myself, and mankind.
Yeah, for sure. So how is, so your process, you know, we all work a process. It's a daily schedule, some disciplines, some activities, different things, readings, meditations, all sorts of different things. That some things can be kind of switched in and out, like varied. Some things are more exact, like it's got to be like this. And for example, you got to take a cold shower, but you choose your wake up time, kind of thing. And you know, all of those things. And then you've experienced that process, living that process at base 2, maybe even before you got into a base. So when you were living with your family, then into base 2, then now you're in your own base, I think, right? You have a base of 4 bedrooms that is over there in like Long Beach or something, right? That it's just you there. So you have the whole base to yourself. You're base leader, you're base guardian, you're base resident, you're every position at that base. And you got your process there. So so are there there's a lot of people in LA for IMC. LA has the biggest.
I'm under the I guess you can say the guardianship of base 3. You know, Oracle, shout out to Oracle. He has given me a lot of time, a lot of support, you know, in my development. Right now, he and the members of base 3 are helping me out. Ambu is, you know, I call him the boss because he checks up on everybody, and he just asks you doing it or not. He doesn't care for your explanation. He's just gonna ask you, are you gonna do it or not? You know, and I love that about him. So right now,
Hear that, King Ben? I wonder where Ambu learned to talk like that.
You know, so it's a great blessing, if you want to call it. It's fucking amazing that I have my brothers with me. They're supporting me, they're helping me check in. I have a schedule that I turn into them every night, and on that schedule has my process, what I'll be doing during the day, when I'm gonna work out, and what time I lock down. And then I check off everything and I turn it into them every night.
Wow.
We've been doing it for about 2 to 3 weeks. And, you know, like everything, when you first start, it's going to have its ups and downs, but the goal is to be consistent. And that's all I aim for, is being consistent in everything I do. You know, when it comes to wake up, when it comes to working out, when it comes to my schedule, is being consistent. As long as I can be consistent, it's gonna work.
Love it. Like it's just like you were saying earlier, like you got to have so much urgency about your life that you don't want to waste a minute, and you got to be so excited about waking up and living your life to gain advantage, to get ahead, to like, and yeah. So the more you love what you're about and what you're doing, then and the schedule becomes a tool, not like a duty or a responsibility. It's like a responsibility to yourself, but it's a tool that you use to better, to be more strategic about your movement versus, you know, something you got to do, you know, because someone outside of you said you got to do it, you know. And how far is your base from base 3, like driving?
So if there's traffic, it takes about 25, 30.
Dang.
If there's no traffic, 20 minutes, you know.
Dang, that's like about how far base 2 is for base 1.
Yeah, when there's traffic, yeah, it's like exactly. Yeah,
Dang.
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Real close.
Yeah, it's not far. Yeah, so you know, I've been going out with them hunting. I went to
Sounds so
Vegas.
predatory when we call it hunting on a public podcast. Getting bitches.
So
When we go out getting bitches and hunting them and we put up and we take our 30-06 rifle with, you know, we put some salt.
Yeah. Oh,
We
yeah.
hang some salt on the light post so they
on
come.
YouTube world.
We dangle some mascara out in the open where they're like, oh, and they look around. Oh, and they come up to, oh.
we got fucking eyelashes and shit.
Yeah. Dang. All right. So yeah, when you guys go out.
So what I mean by hunting is we go out and we have dinner and we game. What do we mean by game? We use our mystery method or whatever you want to call it to attract the female, and we talk to them and we, you know, have a good time. Have a good time, meaning you get to meet new people, network, whatever you want to call it. And there's a way we do it, and we use the mystery method. And the reason we use mystery method is because it's a really good way to open people up and talk to them. And I've learned that from going to the Vegas camp about 2 months ago. And Eros, the coach there, he's helped me develop, you know, openers, and we practice that in Las Vegas. So I like to go out hunting with my brothers and use that because I have to put myself out there. You know, if I'm gonna complain about not having women or not, you know, or you know, complain about like I'm not attractive or, you know, whatever your bullshit you have about women, you know, if you're not out there putting yourself out there, then yeah, you are, you know.
I mean, that's right. I mean, as you do your diet and you get your macros on, I mean, it's fail proof, really. Whatever your macros are based on your weight and height and whatever, and then maybe reduce it just a little bit if you want to lose weight, and then log your workouts, and you just follow that to a T, and you lose weight over time. Your body changes, you build muscle in the right places, you lose fat in the right places, and then your body changes. And then you learn a little bit of indirect openers and how to not show so much interest, lean in, lean back, whatever. Right. And come to the parties and you learn how to be more certain with yourself, how to pause a little bit, not be such a good little boy, but be the beast that you know you fucking are. And you bring that and you make it congruent, because some outside surprise will shock you into a previous personality or prior character or something. And being able to confront and respond to whatever's happening from present time, what's going on, you know. And what was I saying? Going out, base 3, mystery method, open people up. Yeah, I mean, anything you got to complain about with, and then in your lifestyle, just being places where, right on. See, that's what I'm saying. People like collaborations. Man, whatever. So we're getting great comments. So, you know, and then putting yourself in situations around women. Like, I don't do that much. Like, I was going over my schedule earlier with the officers. We had an officers meeting, and I was like, pretty much one time a day, I leave the house. I drive to yoga and back once a day, or I drive to do a bazillion jujitsu and back once a day. That's like when I leave the house. Now in the morning, I walk to the grocery store, the coffee shop, whatever, and walk back. I'm working the whole time, and like, but that's it. I'm not around. So I stream. There's whatever women watch my streams or keep up with me. I deal with the models for our events. And so when we do that, when I go out with AZD, because that's the only otherwise, I mean, I have gone out with the guys and we do that, but we get pretty hyper focused on business and just gaining advantage in life. Like, it's just more interesting. And the video game of life like that is also pretty interesting. As far as gaming, I mean, the situation is that women out at night are not the best candidates. It doesn't seem like the best candidates are the ones that actually have common interests with you. But now, how do you meet them or find them? I mean, it's having interests that put you around. You know, if you're into construction, it's going to be, what are you going to do? Go to Home Depot and like maybe meet a girl there? I don't know. It's like, if you're into Muay Thai, like, are you going to meet so many pretty girls at Muay Thai? Probably not, you know, and they're probably the instructor's wife if it is, or girlfriend. So that's a dangerous thing. And but on the way, maybe on the way, you stop by a store. On the way back, you got to do some shop. That's the time to do shopping. So you link it up with that fighter energy, or you know, you just got to arrange your life in such a way. I mean, where do you do your calisthenics? Maybe is at a park where there's women or whatever it is. And piece by piece, gradually, you make yourself in a situation where you're more and more out there. but on your purpose, doing what you need to do to better your life. So you're not going so much out of your life, out of your way to meet women, because that's a replication activity versus a survival activity. But if the base is going out, then, you know, you think about, like, when we go out, it's not to get women at base one. Now, it hasn't been stated, why do we go out? This is just me saying that I don't think we go out to get women. We go out to make our presence known to the environment, to the businesses, to the business owners, to high value people, because they'll run into us throughout the days in future days, and they'll have recognized us as conquering whatever venue we went to. And that presence, I mean, maybe we may pick up a number or pick up a girl or something, but it's never about that. And that's like a given that that's going to happen. We go places where there are women, so you're going to interact with a waitress, or you're going to interact with some staff, or there's going to be other women there as customers. Like, that's going to happen. So it's about giving value to the venues and the social environment, and that makes the women turn towards you. If you're the value to the social environment, then they just start FaceTiming you, and then into being a mystery method.
Yeah, that's kind of the intention I go with. Like, I don't really see myself ever maybe being with a girl that I met at a club or a strip club, whatever. You know, I use this for myself to better my communication. So each time I go out every week, there's something new I learn about myself. Oh, I shouldn't have did that. I should have did this, you know? And really, like I said, I'm not looking for those type of women. If a girl is out at night, that's not the type of girl I want to bring in my life.
No, you're training your body language, your openers, you're training, you're also vibing with your guys and the business talks. I mean, that's the only time I hang out with my housemates. So that's business talks is when we go out. When we're
Exactly.
that's what we're talking about. And then going out helps calibrate that to be more cool, because we're in social venues, so we can't be all nerded out going into like business talks and strategies or whatever, and closing off to the environment. So we learn how to be open with the subjects we're talking about, which is it's a
because
social
this
science.
is going to help you in so many ways in your life, whether it's a business meeting, a conversation with your mother, even, you know, talking to other, and you know, we're not just gaming girls out there. A lot of guys we talk to too, and we're inviting them towards you know, being better. I
don't even know what gaming girls really is. I mean, I'm gaming life. If I'm gaming girls, I'm gaming life. Like, because I'm not doing something special for the woman other than treating her as a woman, which doesn't take really any effort from me. Like, I gotta be like, oh, she's a woman, I gotta do it like this. Like, she's a woman, and I believe that it should be treated like this. And there's some calibration to who the person is, just like in anything. I would calibrate to the bum on the street, and I would calibrate to the guy that, you know, steps out of his Bentley in a suit and tie or something. And, you know, a super fine woman versus a piece of trash that's whatever the fuck that is, who knows? Some loud, fat, ghetto, fabulous girl that's walking through, like, there's a calibration, but it's also, she's a female, and there's just a belief and understanding. And so gaming the girl, I mean, you know, this lifestyle is something I've discovered, and it still happens, definitely. But, you know, I've caught myself so many times, so many, hundreds, where I didn't have the game switch turned on, and it caught me off guard, some situation, and I was like, oh man, I knew what to do, I just wasn't in game mode. And which could even be, like you said, with guys, like somebody amogs me in somewhere, and I just wasn't sharp with it socially, to my capability, to my awareness, you know. And over time, more and more, without shying away from the subject, like a lot of guys get discouraged and then turn away, but without shying away, more and more, game is life and life is game, and game, you're just always turned on. It's always game on, from curtains up till lockdown, game on. And then really all the time, 24/7, game on. So like,
it's not that one. It's this one.
Unmuted.
You have to wait.
Oh, is that your background? You got a kid in the background, Najim? You there? I don't hear you anymore. Does anybody else hear him? No, I don't hear him. Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, there you are.
My bad. I guess the Bluetooth went on my. I'm so sorry about that.
Got
Shit.
it. Got it. Okay. Anyway, so that's just some ideas about game because I know my women watch this and I want to, and so sometimes that's why I reframe this because they watch these things. And so, you know, gaming women, yes, I get, I did an opener to open her. I thought about when I said something, it was like, that's going to be high value. She indicated some disinterest. I indicated some disinterest, but was I gaming her? You know, it's just how I understand social dynamics. It's
Yeah.
just,
That's all, you know, kind of for entertainment and for learning experience. But since you mentioned right now that your women might hear this, that's
they do hear it.
exactly
They
what
watch.
I think that's something that I've been looking forward to is, you know, being more open about I don't want to say. Yeah, I do want to say that women are fucked up in the head nowadays because not only women, you know, men too, because we've been so fucking programmed by Disney, by movies, by TV, by shows, and by music. And these women, they fucking watch this shit, binge on this shit every fucking night on Netflix. And there's so much gay shit in there. There's so much fucking
Yeah.
nasty women independent shit on there. It's like, you know, so they're
Devil's
being exactly. So that's where I want to step it up now. And I need to start, like, I have my IMC stars once a week. Now I want to just, you know, talk more to the men, like the realities of life, you know, like the real, like gaming is one thing, but then what's the next step? You know, like how are we gonna wake up these people? Because these people why do we want to wake them up? Fuck, man. These are questions I ask myself, you know, but we have to because the world is going in such a way, like children are getting fucked up right now. You know, they don't have somebody at night, or I mean, they don't have somebody who can look after them. They're constantly go ahead and watch the iPad like our parents did. Go watch TV, or they put on a movie and boom, that's it. That was our babysitters. So we have. What I want to do is I want to make people more aware that we have to work on our children, on the future of this planet, because it's going to shit.
Well,
People
I
are
think
going to
IMC
shit.
TV is a great platform for that.
Yes.
Definitely streaming outside of that, so you get more practiced at it, build your own audience, and then pay Josiah $10 an episode to go through and take clips. And if that's what you're talking about, and you can even specify to them which clips to get or which subjects clip out anything I say about saving kids or saving the planet or whatever. And so you get those clips because those reels and shorts, those are what could go viral more than a live stream video. Those don't grab too many new views, but the clips we get from them do grab views. So if you can use IMC TV as a substrate or a base to grow your presence, because we have 14 or 16 shows or something, and several are using these clips, and we're gaining followers from everybody's gaining followers to this hub, which is IMC TV channel. One day, my goal is to create an app, an IMC TV app, so it's streamed through an app versus YouTube, and make that payment. There's the free open public podcast, and then premium services. Each show host would have their own premium. Like I see the whole IMC TV app, or just whatever, and so you could that's the thing to do is those clips, but you don't want to do that yourself. Just pay somebody $10 to do that, and then you can distribute those how you want. You can send those to girls. You can send those to your kid. You could those become little sound bites of your wisdom. Meanwhile, you spend 45 minutes talking it out, and 3 times throughout that 45 minutes, you say it really well, real poetically. The emotions are there. You catch that congruent moment where it's like you hit the point hard. And so you go and capture that clip, and then you start getting references of yourself speaking well. It's kind of like when you're around your woman and you tell her, always look your best. Always look your best with me. When you're not with me, don't look your best. I don't care how you look. Like, portray yourself the right way, but whatever your top look is, that should be reserved for me. And you'll get my best also. And so every time you see her, you start to build this almost like illusion of who she is, because you only see her at her best. You don't see what she looks like without makeup, when she's on her menstruation, whatever. And that's what you kind of end up doing with yourself. And that's okay, because that creates a healthy relationship. That's how you combat the media and the Disney and everything that keeps idealizing and sexualizing everything. How does your woman compete with that when the best is always being thrown in your face? You as a man don't watch that shit. You watch things that are useful for you. Character study, even. It could be entertainment, but there's use in that. And then she always looks her best. And so when you see your clips of your own wisdom and you start getting reference of your best levels of communication, you're like, that's how I should talk. That's how I should talk. And that's my views of it.
Yep, that's exactly, where I'm going towards. And I'll be having more podcasts out and trying to do it every day, maybe at least 6 times a week. Because I have so many things that I have to say. I can't save it for 1 week. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to Vegas camp next week or this weekend. I'll be in Vegas. If anybody wants to join me, that's in SoCal. I'll be driving up there. You can more than welcome to join me. If you want to catch my shows, I'm on IMC TV on Fridays for now. I will be adding more stuff. And I'm just like having fun, just building, creating, and working on myself. I was saying, like, before in the shower, you touch yourself like, oh shit, I didn't know I had this muscle. And, my muscles in my chest are growing now. And it's been only 6 months. There's not much change. If you look at me from 6 months ago, there's not much change, but I feel better. I actually feel stronger than I ever been in my life, actually. And I'm 38 years old. Like, not even when I was 19, I felt this strong. So, yeah, everything, it's gonna yes, I have bad times, I have good times. And you know what the best part about that is having this mind that doesn't let you get trapped into the good times or the bad times, and we're just going. And that's what I learned. I really learned how to live my life at a better and stronger rate because of my mind, because of what I've learned from AZD, how to control the mind. And that's the blessing that I have received from AZD as my teacher. And I'll be teaching this too. I'll be teaching off the teachings of Islam and the philosophies of AZD, and it'll be a mixture of that.
For sure.
And
because those are your expertise, so it naturally comes out like that. Especially the first few hundred podcasts that I did, I naturally spoke about yoga all the time, as I also spoke about communication in the mind. Just whatever your expertise is going to infuse with what you do. And Najim is one of the guys, one of the few, if not one, maybe the only high-level IMC guy that I think came through me, like discovered me, I believe, before discovering AZD. And I turned him on to AZD. He was like, here, check out this guy. And so that was when I was preaching and speaking about yoga and wellness and that stuff. And that's so whatever you speak about, there's going to be your audience, and some of them are going to be interested in this stuff. For sure.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Cool. We actually had one audience member that had a bunch of questions over here, but they're like off a little bit. There's one question that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if we've met. That's why I don't want to field all of her questions. It's some woman, but I don't know that we've met, so I don't want to answer all this bullshit. But one of these questions: what is the purpose of this group? Do we have a bunch of guys online, and of course Najim? This group. Now, this group is my podcast. So this is Enlightened Masculinity podcast, getting the message out. I have 350, 400 episodes of this show on all the platforms, so you get your message out. It's a business. There's links. People can get involved, and that's just what it is. It's not like a hugely popular podcast by numbers, loyal audience, and it supplements everything else I do. This doesn't bring in the money, but I've noticed when I don't do this, the money goes down because of just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it nurtures the audience. Maybe I'm a better communicator afterwards, so I just communicate with the audience better. I don't know what that is. And also, it's a great vehicle to connect with my brothers. So many I don't live with. They're remote somewhere, and so we get to have a conversation. I get to know people a lot more through these streams. So this isn't the first time Star of Truth has been on my podcast. Kingpin's been on my podcast a bunch. I think Tattoo Addicts was. Tony has. Tony's also been on staff. There's so much interaction through this stuff. But this is just Enlightened Masculinity, which is my show as part of, what I do. When did I start it? I started it originally was a collaboration with Akash Katakam. So Akash was in IMC. So it was another IMC brother. And so it's a very IMC related podcast. And so I think that's probably the question is, what is the purpose of this group? Meaning, what's the purpose of IMC Nation? And that's what I'm interested in, what each individual that wanted to contribute, if anybody online now has an idea of what is the purpose of IMC Nation. So I think that's what the question is. What's the purpose of this group, IMC Nation? Anybody have any thoughts on that? It's a big movement. It's got a lot of purpose to it. How would you synthesize that? Like, what's the purpose? Because based on all the other questions and comments, I don't think she's a hater. So I don't think she's trying to needle at you. I think it's a question that comes from some level of awareness. Like, what's the purpose of this group?
Yeah, for me, I think IMC is I guess you can say temple or sanctuary. It is a place, but it doesn't have an actual place. It's a place where you can go to become more knowledgeable on yourself, your mind, body, and spirit, and to become more stronger in the mind, body, and spirit. Whether you're a man or a female, this place is a welcoming place and a place where you come in maybe low vibrational, or you come in weak, but you leave with strength and higher vibration.
Right on. Right on. Anybody else have anything also? Their own interpretation? Other audience members going once, twice? Okay, cool. Yeah, those are definitely benefits. I totally agree that those are benefits of joining up with IMC and getting involved with the programs and learning and studying and whatever all this stuff is. I would say that right now the purpose of IMC Nation is rescuing mankind from the spell of the witch, which is the woman. And she is under the control of the devil on this planet, in this culture, and she's used by the means of evil to control mankind and men. And that has deteriorated all of Earth into a fallen state where there's a lot of ignorance. There's way, way, way more ignorance than there is awareness of what's really going on in front of people's face. And that includes you and you and you and you and everybody who's listening and watching. It's more than you're aware of, because you'll be more aware tomorrow. So yeah, the woman, why is the woman the witch? Just look around. Just look around. Anyway, that's because the subject of this podcast is not a solo. I would field more questions if it was solo and dialogue on that stuff, but this is an interview, so I don't want to do that. But there is one other question you asked that's general enough that I would respond to. So I'll field this to the audience first, to Najim. What is masculinity? This is almost like the dating show. We're doing an extension. I wonder if this is one of the models. This might be one of the models. If you're one of the models, I'm going to find out afterwards anyway. I'll look it up. So just be honest. But like, are you a model that was a candidate for this event? Or maybe, I don't know. Or where are you? Like, who are you? Where are you? How do we know each other? Just so I know who I'm talking to. So yeah, that's an interesting question before we wrap it up, like for the audience. And first to Najim, what is masculinity to you?
Masculinity to me is being a leader of your tribe and a leader of your family. That's it.
Right on. Leader energy. That's masculinity. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah. That came up for me right when I asked the question. I was like, I felt leader energy. Masculinity. This is a gendered universe, and I think there are two sides to all things, a masculine and a feminine. And a masculine is the leading energy. It is the survival energy. and it's the wisdom from above. It's the Godhead. And the counterpart to femininity in this yin-yang cycle. So it's a word that describes the leading energy, the survival energy, the aggressive, like whatever those qualities and characteristics of masculinity are. And then it's a very general question. So how it relates in whatever situations, I mean, that'd be easier, just it's an interesting, because I would look at that. I want to look at that because I don't even like my answer that much, but it's probably better than I think most. If I struggled with it, I think everybody probably struggles with that. That's why nobody volunteered to answer. So hell yeah, real fam. There, how's that? Girl says I'm not friendly. There, how's that for friendliness? I'm friendly towards my friends. I'm not friendly towards strangers. I'm polite, respectful, whatever. You're on my show. I'm not on your show. Okay, everybody. Any closing words? So we talked about the party a bit. We talked about I didn't get to one thing I was going to ask you, but it's probably not necessary. And talked about being in LA kind of as a lone wolf, but not really. You're almost like this remote member of Base 3. And looking for new base, a new situation. Are you willing to move anywhere, like another city?
Yeah, I mean, I have thoughts of either going to Las Vegas. You know, I want to buy maybe a condo that maybe has like a 3-bedroom and somewhere, and then just base up with a couple brothers, you know.
Somewhere in Vegas.
Vegas, maybe San Jose, maybe Valencia, which is by Six Flags Magic Mountain. Which why I want to move there is like it's not
Is that
very
in LA? Is Valencia
yeah,
in LA area? Okay.
yeah, it's like above Hollywood.
Okay.
Like maybe 45 minutes above Hollywood.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Or you know, LA, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking to base up, and you know, I'm very hopeful for the future. For myself, you know, it's we men here in IMC, we've been working on ourselves, we've been learning, and you know, it took us time to wake up, but now I slowly think that women are starting to wake up. And what I mean, I don't know if you guys know what that means, waking up. Basically, you know, getting unchained from the programming that we've all been programmed under, you know, the whole storyline of a hero is gonna come save the princess and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very hopeful because I think now more and more people are starting to wake up, and it's time for us to, you know, speak our truth so that more and more people can come towards the right message.
Yeah. This is the time. Time is now. When you say
Yeah.
okay, well, one recommendation, definitely, you may already know this or think this way with the basing. Locations is great, but I think, you know, the roommates, the housemates are going to be the key. And so guys that want to live with you, that you want to live with, and then creating with them wherever you want to go. And maybe you can state up front, like, I have a lot of options. We could go here, there. But definitely you want to vibe with the person and feel like this is going to be probably like a 12-month thing at least. Maybe somebody switches out or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you guys have common purpose, common goals, and really you'll know that just if you get along in the conversation about it and you feel enthusiastic about it. And it's like you guys are eager to stay in touch about it. And it's not one person chasing someone else down to follow through with it. Find those 2 other candidates that want a 3 condo or whatever. And then the world is your oyster. You can go wherever and you'll make it happen.
For sure.
Oh yeah. All right. That's IMC Star of Truth, Najim. And what's your show called on IMC TV?
It's called IMC Stars.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds like you interview. It sounds like an interview show.
Yeah, sometimes I have guests on there. Most of the time I do, and sometimes it's just me speaking. The last guest I had was Tat Addicts. And then yeah.
Right on. So that's great. That's another great show to meet more IMC people, and in the dialogue, you'll learn more about what the philosophy is and everything.
Yeah.
I see this is great. Like I was doing so many solo episodes, I'm returning back to more of these interviews. So next week,
Yeah.
I forget, Tony sent me who the next person was. It might be him, I forget, but it'll be other IMC show hosts. That's who I want to interview first. And not just people on IMC, but people that are on IMC TV that you can go and watch their philosophy more. So everybody that's watching this episode, go and check out what was it? IM Stars? IMC
IMC
Stars?
Stars. Yeah.
IMC Stars. IMC Stars, yes. Thank you, Najim, for your time, brother.
Thank you.
And I'll see you on the next time I see you, which will probably maybe next camp, or I'm sure we'll talk more. And thanks for painting the center, dude. Looking forward to training with you.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome.